Section 1-2. Instruments and controls. Switches. Headlight switch, headlight dimmer and turn signal switch, fog light switch, windshield wiper and washer switch, rear window wiper and washer switch, rear window defogger switch, outside rear view mirror defogger switch, power window switches, emergency flasher switch, and seat heater switches. Headlight switch. 1. USA and 2. Canada. To turn the lights on, twist the knob on the end of the lever. First click stop, only the parking, tail, license plate, side marker and instrument panel lights turn on. Second click stop, headlights also turn on. Third click stop, auto, the headlights and all other lights automatically turn on depending on the darkness of the surroundings. Note, the sensitivity of the automatic light control sensor can be changed. Ask your Lexus dealer for details. Vehicle sold in USA. When the headlights are on, the headlight indicator lights up in the instrument cluster. Vehicle sold in Canada. When the tail lights are on, the tail light indicator lights up in the instrument cluster. With a knob in the auto position, there may be a case that the headlights do not turn on immediately even when the vehicle enters a dark place such as a tunnel or parking lot according to lighting conditions. In this case, we recommend you to twist the knob manually to the second click stop to turn on the headlights immediately. When the headlight switch is turned to the first or second click stop, the brightness of the instrument cluster will be reduced slightly unless the instrument panel light control dial is turned fully up. However, the brightness of the instrument cluster will not be reduced in daytime even when the headlight switch is turned to first or second click stop. The automatic light control sensor is on top of the driver's side instrument panel. Do not place anything on the instrument panel and or do not affix anything on the windshield to block this sensor. When the headlights are on, they automatically turn off about 30 seconds after any side door is opened and closed with the ignition key turned to the ACC or lock position. If you want to turn off the lights immediately, push the lock button on the wireless remote control key twice. The lights also can be turned off immediately by pushing the lock button on the wireless remote control key with all the doors locked. Note, the time before turning off the lights can be changed. Ask your Lexus dealer for details. If any of the side door is kept opened, the lights automatically turn off after 30 minutes. When the headlight switch is on with all the doors locked, pushing the lock button on the wireless remote control key turns off the headlights. If you are going to park for over 1 week, make sure the headlight switch is off. Daytime running light system. The daytime running light system makes your front turn signal lights turn on when the parking brake is released with the engine started and the headlights are turned off. They will not go off until the ignition switch is turned off. Notice: to prevent the battery from being discharged, do not leave the lights on longer than necessary when the engine is not running. Headlight dimmer and turn signal switch. For high beam, push the lever forward. Pull it back for low beam. For the headlight flasher, pull it further back. A blue light in the instrument cluster indicates high beam or headlight flasher is on. The headlight flasher works even when the headlight switch is off. For signal and turns, move the lever up or down in the conventional manner. The ignition key must be in the on position. The turn signal is self-canceling after a turn, but after a lane change, you may have to cancel it by hand. You can also signal a lane change by moving the turn signal lever partway and holding it there. If the green light in the instrument cluster flashes faster than normal, it indicates that the front or rear turn signal bulb has burned out. If this indicator light does not come on, the fuse or the indicator light itself has probably failed. Fog light switch. To turn on the fog lights, turn the switch to the on position. The fog lights come on only when the headlights are on low beam. Windshield wiper and washer switch. Variable intermittent windshield wipers. 1. Interval adjuster and 2. Washer on. To turn the wipers on, move the lever down until you reach the desired speed setting. The ignition key must be in the on position. There are 3 settings. In position, variable intermittent operation. Low position, low speed operation. High position, high speed operation. Twist the interval adjuster upward to increase the wiping time interval between sweeps and downward to decrease it. The wiper lever must be in the in position. The time interval between sweeps is shortened when the vehicle speed increases. When the vehicle speed reaches more than about 20 km per hour, 12 miles per hour, with the interval adjuster in the full upward position, the time interval becomes the shortest 1.5 seconds. If you stop the vehicle with a wiper switch in the low position, the wiper speed automatically changes from low speed to variable intermittent operation speed. This function does not work when the interval adjuster is in the full upward position. Note, this feature can be deactivated. Ask your Lexus dealer for details. To make the washer squirt, pull the lever towards you and release it. If the wiper lever is in the off position, the wipers will automatically make 3 wipes and then a single wipe later to sweep the windshield completely. The interval between the 3 wipes and the last wipe will depend on the vehicle speed. The last sweep does not happen if the vehicle speed exceeds about 170 km an hour, 106 miles per hour. Note, the last single wipe can be deactivated. Ask your Lexus dealer for details. The low washer fluid warning light in the instrument cluster comes on when the fluid level in the tank becomes nearly empty. For information on adding washer fluid, see adding washer fluid on page 558. In cold weather, warm the windshield with a defroster before using the washer. This will help prevent icing, which could block your vision. Notice: do not operate the wipers if the windshield is dry. It may scratch the glass. Rain sensing windshield wipers. 1. Automatic control adjuster and 2. Washer on. To turn the wipers on, move the lever down until you reach the desired speed setting. The ignition key must be in the on position. There are 3 settings: auto position, automatic operation; low position, low speed operation; high position, high speed operation. Automatic operation. The wiper speed is determined by the amount of raindrops and sunlight detected by the automatic wiper control sensor. Twist the automatic control adjuster in the negative direction to lower the sensitivity and the positive direction to boost the sensitivity. The sensor is on the inside of the windshield as shown above. Even if the wiper lever is in the auto position, the system will switch to variable intermittent operations in the following conditions: when the windshield gets extremely cold at less than 10 degrees Celsius or 14 degrees Fahrenheit. When the system malfunctions. However, when the windshield gets extremely hot at more than 90 degrees Celsius or 194 degrees Fahrenheit, the wipers do not operate even if the wiper lever is in the auto position. When the ignition switch is turned off with a wiper lever in the auto position and then the ignition switch is turned on again, the automatic operation may not work even if raindrops are on the windshield. In this case, move the lever to another position and return it to the auto position again. If you stop the vehicle with a wiper switch in the low position, the wiper speed automatically changes from low speed to intermittent operation speed. This function does not work when the automatic control adjuster is in the positive position. Note, this feature can be deactivated. Ask your Lexus dealer for details. Caution: be careful not to get your fingers caught between the wipers and windshield. When the wiper lever is in the auto position with the ignition switch on, the wipers could operate automatically in the following cases: if you touch the upper center of the windshield adjacent to the sensor; if you wipe the upper center of the windshield adjacent to which the sensor is located with a towel; if the windshield vibrates; if you touch the sensor. Notice: do not apply detergent to or wet the automatic wiper control sensor when cleaning the inside of the windshield. To make the washer squirt, pull the lever towards you and release it. If the wiper lever is in the off position, the wipers will automatically make 3 wipes and then a single wipe later to sweep the windshield completely. The interval between the 3 wipes and the last wipe will depend on the vehicle speed. The last sweep does not happen if the vehicle speed exceeds about 170 km per hour, 106 miles per hour. Note, the last single wipe can be deactivated. Ask your Lexus dealer for details. The low washer fluid warning light in the instrument cluster comes on when the fluid level in the tank becomes nearly empty. For information on adding washer fluid, see adding washer fluid on page 558. In cold weather, warm the windshield with a defroster before using the washer. This will help prevent icing, which could block your vision. Notice: do not operate the wipers if the windshield is dry. It may scratch the glass. Rear window wiper and washer switch. 1. Washer on during wiping, and 2. Washer on. To turn the wipers on, twist the knob at the end of the lever. The ignition key must be in the on position. There are 2 settings: low position, intermittent operation; high position, normal operation. If you stop the vehicle with a rear window wiper switch in the high position, the wiper speed automatically changes from normal to intermittent operation speed. To make the washer squirt, twist the knob downward to position 2. Also, the wipers will automatically operate a couple of times after the washer squirts, even with a lever in the off position. To make the washer squirt while operating in on position, twist the knob upward to position 1. The knob automatically returns from these positions after you release it. The low washer fluid warning light in the instrument cluster comes on when the fluid level in the tank becomes nearly empty. For information on adding washer fluid, see adding washer fluid on page 558. Notice: do not operate the rear window wiper if the rear window is dry. It may scratch the glass. Rear window defogger switch. Vehicles without navigation system. Vehicles with navigation system. To turn the electric rear window defogger on, push the switch. The ignition key must be in the on position. The thin heater wires on the inside of the rear window will quickly clear the surface. An indicator light will illuminate to indicate the defogger is operating. The system will automatically shut off when the defogger has operated about 15 minutes. If further defrosting or defogging is desired, simply actuate the switch again. When the surface has cleared, push the switch once again to turn the defogger off. Continuous use may cause the battery to discharge, especially during stop-and-go driving. The defogger is not designed to dry rainwater or to melt snow. Notice: when cleaning the inside of the rear window, be careful not to scratch or damage the heater wires or connectors. To prevent the battery from being discharged, turn the switch off when the engine is not running. Outside rear view mirror defogger switch. To turn the electric outside rear view mirror defogger on, push the switch. The ignition key must be in the on position. The thin heater wires on the heater panels in the outside rear view mirrors will quickly clear the surface. Keep your hands off the mirror faces when the switch is on. An indicator light will illuminate to indicate the defogger is operating. The system will automatically shut off when the defogger has operated about 5 minutes. Caution: since the mirror surfaces can get hot, do not touch them when the switch is on. If further defrosting or defogging is desired, simply actuate the switch again. When the surface has cleared, push the switch once again to turn the defogger off. Continuous use may cause the battery to discharge, especially during stop-and-go driving. The defogger is not designed to dry rainwater or to melt snow. If the outside rear view mirrors are heavily coated with ice, use a spray de-icer before operating the switch. Notice: to prevent the battery from being discharged, turn the switch off when the engine is not running. Power window switches. 1. For driver's window, 2. For front passenger's window, 3. For left rear window, and 4. For right rear window. To raise or lower the windows, use the switch on each door. The passenger's windows can also be controlled by the switches on the driver's door. The power windows work when the ignition key is in the on position. Key off operation, even if the ignition key is turned to the ACC or lock position with all the doors closed, the window can be operated until a front door is opened or for 43 seconds. Operating the switches. To raise or lower the window, pull the switch halfway up or push it halfway down. Automatic operation. To fully raise or lower the window automatically, pull the switch fully up or push it fully down. To stop the window partway, lightly push or pull the switch in the opposite direction and then release it. Operating the window lock switch. Indicator lights. With a window lock switch pressed in, only the driver's window can be raised or lowered. The indicator lights on the switch tell you which of the switches can be operated. Operating the windows from outside the vehicle. The windows can be operated using an ignition key. Note, this feature can be deactivated. Ask your Lexus dealer for details. Close and open. Insert the ignition key into the keyhole on the driver's door. To close the windows, turn the key in the locking direction and hold it. After the doors are locked, the windows begin to close. To stop in the middle, return the key. To open the windows, turn the key in the unlocking direction and hold it. After the door is unlocked, the windows begin to open. To stop in the middle, return the key. The windows also can be opened using the wireless remote control. For details, see page 17. Jam protection function. During automatic raising operation or key off raising operation, the window stops and is lowered if something gets caught between the window and window frame. If the window receives a strong impact, this function may work even if nothing is caught. If the power windows do not operate automatically. If the power windows do not operate automatically or the jam protection function does not operate correctly, you should normalize the power windows. To normalize the power windows, Step 1. Push down the power window switches of each door and lower the windows halfway. And Step 2. Pull up the switches until the windows close and hold the switches for a second. Make sure that the windows open and close automatically. If the power windows cannot be operated properly, have it checked by your Lexus dealer. Caution. To avoid serious personal injury, you must do the following. Before you close the power windows, always make sure there is no body around the power windows. You must also make sure the heads, hands and other parts of the bodies of all occupants are kept completely inside the vehicle. If someone's neck, head or hands get caught in a closing window, it could result in death or serious injury. When anyone closes the power windows, make sure he or she operates the windows safely. When small children are in the vehicle, never let them use the power window switches without supervision. Use the window lock switch to prevent them from making unexpected use of the switches. Be sure to remove the ignition key when you leave your vehicle. Never leave anyone, particularly a small child, alone in your vehicle, especially with the ignition key still inserted. Otherwise, he/she could use the power window switches and get trapped in a window. Unattended person, particularly a small child, can be involved in a serious accident. Never try jamming any part of your body to activate the jam protection function intentionally, as it could result in a serious injury. The jam protection function may not work if something gets caught just before the window fully closed. Emergency flasher switch. To turn on the emergency flashers, push the switch. To turn them off, push the switch again. All the turn signal lights will flash. The emergency flashers will work with the engine running or often with or without the ignition key. Turn on the emergency flashers to warn other drivers if you must stop your vehicle where it might be a traffic hazard. Always pull your vehicle as far off the road as possible. The turn signal light switch will not work when the emergency flashers are in operation. Notice. To prevent the battery from being discharged, do not leave the switch on longer than necessary when the engine is not running. Seat heater switches. The seat heater has two dials, one marked L for the driver's seat and the other marked R for the front passenger seat. To turn the seat heaters on, turn the dials forward. The indicator lights come on. To turn them off, turn the dials backward until they stop. The indicator lights go off. You can adjust the heating temperature to 5 stages. To increase the temperature, turn them forward. To decrease the temperature, turn them backward. The ignition key must be in the on position to operate seat heaters. Caution. Occupants must use caution when operating the seat heater because they may experience minor burns even at low temperatures. Use extra caution for babies, small children, elderly persons, sick persons or persons with physical disabilities. Persons who have sensitive skin. Persons who are exhausted. Persons who have taken alcohol or drugs which induce sleep, sleeping drug, cold remedy, etc. To prevent the seat from overheating, do not use the seat heater with a blanket, cushion, or other insulating objects which cover the seat. Notice. Do not put unevenly weighted objects on the seat and do not stick sharp objects, needles, nails, etc. into the seat. When cleaning the seats, do not use organic substances, paint thinner, benzene, alcohol, gasoline, etc. They may damage the heater and seat surface. To prevent the battery from being discharged, turn the switches off when the engine is not running.